What's up, you guys? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about what do wealthy people buy on payday. You know, have you ever heard that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? Well, today I'm going to try and explain you why, and so that you could also use this to your own advantage, right? Because a lot of people, again, like what we talked about yesterday, they don't get educated on this. And I remember the first time I saw this was by a guy called Tim Sales. And when I saw his video about this, it blew my mind, because nobody has ever educated me on this. Nobody has ever taught me about this. So when I first saw it, it was like, wow, you know, like it really, really opened my eyes, and then I could act on it and do things differently in order to become financially free, right? Because that's what it's all about, right? I want to teach you guys how to become financially free and help you with that. Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, there's few concepts that we need to learn, right? So one is income. Income is the money that comes in, and two is expenses. Expenses is the money that goes out, right? So money comes into your account as income and goes out of your account as expenses. And then the second lot of concepts that we need to look at is assets and liabilities. So assets is things that make you money. Now, I know if you spoke to an accountant, they wouldn't say it like that. They would say asset is things that you own. But for this example, we're not going to do it like that. We're going to use assets as things that make you money. Hey Emma, thanks for watching. And liabilities are things that cost you money. So you see, accountant might say, well, your car is an asset because you own your car, right? So that's an asset. But actually, it's a liability, because your car is probably costing you money every single month instead of making you money. But if you had that car and you started driving an Uber, you know, you started working as a taxi driver, your car could become an asset. It could start earning you money. Same way, houses. You know, your house that you're currently living in, an accountant would say it's an asset, right? Because you own it, right? But actually, it's a liability because it's costing you money. Whereas if you maybe took some people who would rent rooms in your home, etc., and if your mortgage was 600, but you were getting 800 pounds in rent, then that liability would become an asset, right? So I just wanted to clarify those things first before we get into why the rich always get richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is stressed out, right? Okay, so let's have a look what those three groups of people, the poor, the middle class, and the rich, are doing differently, right? Why do rich people get richer and the poor people get poorer, right? Why does that happen? Well, there's a reason for that, right? It doesn't just happen by accident, right? So let's first of all look at poor people. What happens with poor people? Well, with poor people, what happens? The income comes in from their job, from whatever they're doing, right? So the money comes in. And what happens with that money? Straight away, as soon as it comes in, it goes out to the expense column, right? All of that money goes right away out through the expense. So poor people say, well, it was so cheap. You know, I went to the pound market, you know, or the pound land, or the pound shop, etc. You know, they buy stuff, right? As soon as they make the money, they pay their bills, and with the rest of the money, they buy stuff, you know, because it's so cheap, because it's so affordable. You know, if they have a little bit more money, maybe they'll buy an electronic income reducer. You know what's electronic income reducer? It's a television, right? So they'll start spending that money as soon as it comes in, right? And that's why poor always stay poor, right? That's why they get poorer, because as soon as the money comes in, they spend the money and they wait for the next month for the money to come in. I'm glad you're agreeing, Emma. You know, and guess what? You know, at one stage of my life, at some stage of my life, I've been to all of those, I've been in each of those groups, so I know what I'm talking about, right? Because I used to spend money like there was no tomorrow, right? As soon as it would come in, it would be burning my pocket. It would have to go out right away, right? Because otherwise, I can't stand it being in my bank account, right? So I was there, so I know what I'm talking about, right? So that's one, that's poor, right? Now, middle class are slightly different, right? Because middle class will usually earn a little bit more, right? So a bit too much to spend in one go right away, right? So what happens with middle class is that, again, the money comes in, a little bit more money, right? They get $4 signs instead of free, right? And what? Yeah, it does run through the fingers. So the money comes in into the middle class, and what they do, some of that money right away goes to the expense column, and they pay their expenses. You know, they pay their mortgage, they pay their gas bill, they pay their electricity bill, they pay everything that has to go right away, but there's still some money left over, as you can see, you know, just only half of it went. So what middle class do, because they want to pretend to be rich, they want to look to be rich, and they want to have the lifestyle before the discipline, the rest of the money, right, so this money gone into the expenses, the rest of the money goes right into the liabilities, right? So they'll buy a brand new sports car, you know, on a lease, right? So every month now that car is costing them, you know, a couple of hundred, maybe £1,000. You know, they made some money next month, they will go and maybe get a holiday on a credit card, right? So then every single month they now have to pay the credit card for the holiday they went. They maybe will buy a Rolex watch, right? Because they want the flash, you know, they want to look rich, they want to impress other people who don't really care, right? But that's what they do. So they keep spending money. If they make even more money, maybe they'll buy a boat, or maybe they'll buy a holiday home, or whatever, right? So they keep getting more and more liabilities, things that are costing them money every single month. And before you know it, they start getting stressed out, because every month the money comes in and even more money is going out through the liabilities, right? So they get stressed out because they can't catch up with it. They can't, like, I've heard somebody say that, I think it was Eric Warrior originally who said it. He said, you cannot out-earn your stupidity. Some of us would love to, right? But it ain't gonna happen, right? You cannot out-earn your stupidity. Even if you're gonna earn, you know, 10,000 a month, if you don't discipline yourself, if you don't know how to manage finances, you're gonna burn through 15,000. As soon as you start earning 50,000 a month, you're gonna burn through 70,000, and so on, right? So if you just keep buying liabilities with your money, you'll be that like the middle class. You'll be stressed out, and you'll be on a leash, on a chain to your job. Because once you get so many liabilities, then you don't have any freedom, right? Because that money is coming out of your bank account every single month, so you have to work, you have to work, you have to spend more hours at the work, etc., right? Hey guys, hey Irina, hey Anna, thanks for watching, right? So that's what middle class do, right? Now let's have a look at the rich. What do the rich people do on payday? What do they do with their money? So again, the money comes in, right? So we'll give them another extra dollar sign, right? So they get even more money, right? But what happens? They take some of that money and it goes off to the expense column, right? Because they also have to pay their bills, right? They have to pay the mortgage, they have to pay whatever payments they have to pay, etc., right? But then, with the rest of the money, they buy assets, right? So they invest that money so that money can earn even more money. So what are assets? Like we said earlier on, assets are things that are earning you money. You know, stocks, shares, real estate, you know, commodities, gold, whatever, right? Some people invest in cryptocurrencies, you know, and also what wealthy people do, they also buy assets in the form of business. They invest money into business, right? What about if you had a little bit of money at the end of the month and you bought, now you're going to see my drawing skills, you bought a nice pinball machine, right? And you stick that pinball machine in a barber shop or in a pub, right? And now people come, play on the pinball machine, put the coins in, so it's starting to earn you money, right? And once it's earned enough money, you go ahead and you buy another pinball machine and you stick it in another barbershop or in another pub, right? And it starts earning you even more money, both of them now, right? Then you take the money that both of them earn and buy the third one. You get what I'm saying? So basically, and that's, by the way, how Warren Buffett started. If you know Warren Buffett, he's one of the richest people in the world right now. That's how he started, by buying pinball machines and putting them in barbershops, right? So, you know, don't knock this business model, right? But wealthy people invest in passive income generating businesses. Businesses that will generate them assets that they can then will give them more income, right? These assets will give them more income, and then they can use that income to reinvest it back into the assets, right? So they can buy even more assets, they're making even more money. That's how rich get richer, because they make the money work for them. They don't work for the money, they make the money work for them by investing that money into assets that can make even more money. Now, most of you, a lot of you might be watching this video and saying, hey, it all sounds well, but I don't have that spare income at the end of the month to invest into assets so they could start earning me passive income. Guess what? You can still do something. You can buy or you can get into a network marketing business. A network marketing business is also a business that can generate you income, right? It's an asset. If you get into network marketing business, you can, one, recommend others the products and make income that way, so that will give you more income that you can invest, right? And if you build a team, it'll give you passive income, right? The override bonuses, which again will give you more income that you can reinvest, right? So, and usually network marketing, unlike stock, shares, property, real estate and all of that, network marketing will cost you like 50 quid to get started, you know, under £100 to get started. So we're not talking an astronomical amount of money to invest in order to start your asset, in order to start your passive income generating business, right? So if you'd like to learn more about that, just give me a message, but that's how it works. Now guys, I hope you found this useful. I hope you, maybe this will, you know, influence you into thinking a different way. I know when I first time saw it, it really opened my eyes. And if it does, maybe you're already in home-based business, maybe you're already in network marketing, then what I would recommend, head over to titaniumsuccess.co.uk/sales for your free audio download on 26 different ways how to find more customers and make more sales, right? So there's an MP3 download just there, titaniumsuccess.co.uk/sales, right? If you go down there, you'll be able to download your free audio and learn all the different strategies, and most of them actually free, how to get more customers and how to get more sales so that you can make more income, right? You can have that income and invest it into more assets. Thanks very much for watching. If you did get value for this, if you could do me a massive favor and share this video maybe in a private message with somebody who you think would benefit from that, or maybe on a group that you know that people would benefit, or even on your own you know, wall, if you think that you have friends who would benefit from that, I'd greatly appreciate that. Let's rock this, guys. Thanks very much. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at the top.